If you're someone who is struggling trying to create the perfect workout split, and maybe you've tried some where they've just left you disappointed with their results, others have you doing way too much to the point where you just feel burnt out, overwhelmed, and just can't keep consistent, I'm here to tell you that I've been there before and there is a definite solution to how you may be feeling right now. Today I'm going to give you the formula that has not only transformed my physique, but has also built my confidence in and outside of the gym. As you'll see, with my workout split, I wanted to take more of a balanced approach where I'm targeting both upper and lower body equally throughout the week. However, I do focus more of my intensity on my lower body days compared to my upper body days. Now it's time to show you how I apply that in the gym. Monday would be day one, and we start off hot with glutes and hamstrings. I like starting off with some sort of hip thrust superset. Currently, I've been interchanging between two of them. We have a cast glute bridge paired with a hip thrust. So for a cast glute bridge, we start in an upright position. We're going to pull ourselves down about halfway of the distance of a regular hip thrust. This is a regular hip thrust. Now with a regular hip thrust, we're gonna extend all the way down, keeping our chin tucked, our gaze ahead, and we're gonna push back up. The other one is a B stance hip thrust paired with a regular hip thrust. So focusing on one leg while keeping this one relatively light. We're gonna extend all the way down like a regular hip thrust and then push back up, focusing on this leg the entire way down and the entire way up. And then we're gonna pair that with a regular hip thrust, which I showed before, just going all the way down, keeping your chin and your gaze tucked, and up. Definitely try one of these, I promise. Your glutes will thank you. So for low platform split squats, you're gonna grab some sort of flat form. I like using a platform that's around 6 to 8 inches. Is this a good reference? Okay. Okay. I think we got the gist. The reason why I like doing low platform split squats is because this variation targets the glutes more compared to the bench split squat, which is probably the one that you see all the time. I usually aim for 3 foot lengths away from the platform. That's like a good marker for me. Now to target the glutes, we're gonna lean forward slightly. All the weight and all the effort is gonna be on this leg. We're gonna push up through our heel along that diagonal line. So we're not completely upright. We're leaning forward slightly. We're gonna go down along the diagonal line and up along a diagonal line. Now for RDLs, our feet are gonna be shoulder width apart, toes facing forward. The key with this is the hip hinge. Imagine someone is coming from behind you, pulling both ends. If they pull, what happens is your hips fall back. That's a hip hinge. Now to help you target your glutes with the RDL, as you hip hinge and pull your hips back, you're going to bend your knees simultaneously as you lower. And then you're gonna push through your heels back up to starting position. You can use a band so you're not jumping from 0 to 100. You're gonna put a band around your feet, your toes facing forward, your heels planted on the ground. Send your hips back and start bending your knees. Now, once the dumbbells or your hands reach about knee or mid shin level, this will depend on your flexibility, you're gonna start pushing through your heels back up to starting position. Next up, we got cable kickbacks. With these, we are targeting the glute maximus. We're gonna put the cable on the lowest setting. Our toes of the working foot is gonna be slightly outwards, just slightly. Slowly contract up, hold it, squeeze your glutes, have all the tension on your glutes, and then slow it down on the way back to the cable machine, just so that you maximize the amount of time your glutes are under that tension. Now, I know this exercise is something that a lot of people struggle with. Often the complaint is that they don't feel it in their glutes. 2 of the reasons why you're probably not feeling it in the glutes is first, you're using too heavy of a weight. The focus is you want to start with the lightest weight possible, really get that form down, really get the mind-muscle connection down so that you know the tension is actually being targeted on your glutes. And number 2 is the momentum. You want to slow down the movement as much as possible, especially on the eccentric, which is the way back to the cable machine. Now to end off my glute and hamstring days, we're going to finish off with hamstring curls. You can do this either seated or lying or whatever hamstring curl machine you have. Now a lot of people just like to curl and then slam it back down. A lot of people is me. But instead we're gonna try to slow down the movement on the concentric as well as the eccentric. So curl, and then slow on the way up. I like focusing on momentum, and I think this does wonders because, again, it maximizes the amount of time that your muscles are under tension. Today is Tuesday, which means we get to do my favorite muscle groups, back and biceps. As you know, if you've followed my page for a while, we always start with pull-ups because that's when I have my most strength. I go until failure. We're on a journey towards 10 pull-ups, 10 to 20 pull-ups. I just want to rep them out. We're building our way up. Let's see how many I can do today. Unfortunately, today is a couple days before my period, which you know what that means. We're not as strong, but we're gonna try our best, our bestest. By the way, if you can't do pull-ups, you can just do them on the assisted machine. Both work. Now for banded pull-ups, I just tied a resistance band onto the handle. The thicker the resistance band, the more assistance it's going to provide you with. So I'm using a relatively thin band. This is also a great way to work on your pull-ups because you can gradually build up to using thinner and thinner bands every single time so that you get more used to holding your own body weight. Next, we got some wide grip pull downs. I like to tuck in my thumbs with the rest of my fingers because it helps me target my back a little bit more. We're gonna position our hands at a wide grip. We're gonna lean back slightly and pull your elbows behind you, bringing the bar to your chest. When the bar almost reaches your chest, you're gonna slowly bring it back up to position. You don't wanna go down and then up because you're losing all that tension. So rather bring it down slowly and bring it slowly back to starting position. Moving on to close grip, you're gonna grab this type of attachment. For close grip, I lean back the slightest. When I bring my hands back, I pull my elbows behind me, keeping them close to my sides and bringing them back to starting position. Again, very slowly. This is one of my favorite exercises that I've been adding to my back days. This is the rear delt, single arm rear delt fly. Single arm rear delt fly, single arm rear delt fly, single arm rear delt fly. It's so simple for me to just grab it like this, but if it's uncomfortable, you can definitely just add an attachment. I'm gonna hold something just for stability. Make sure that the cable is positioned a little bit higher than level with your shoulder. So we start at the base of the cable machine, keeping our arms slightly bent, have that slight arc in it, and we're gonna bring the cable out to the side like a regular cable fly, just with one arm, and bring it slowly back up. Let's do it. We're gonna do some hyperextensions, back focused. To position yourself onto the machine, you're gonna make sure that the pads are just a little bit underneath your hips. Make sure that your feet are flat on the platform, and you can also angle them outward a little bit if it's more comfortable for you. You can start off with some body weight just to get yourself used to the movement. Gonna reach down for the weight, lift up the weight to your chest. Keep your back straight completely. You don't wanna arch and you don't wanna curve. And as you push up, you're gonna use your lower back to control the movement. Now with bicep curls, we're gonna keep our palms forward, pin our elbows to our sides, and we're gonna let our biceps do all the work. So you're gonna curl up, you're gonna bring it back down, keeping your elbows stationary the entire time. Slow on the way up and slow on the way down. Usually I end my upper body days with some form of cardio, and I've been loving the Stairmaster lately. It's a love-hate relationship. It really is, because I hate doing it, but then afterwards I feel so good. I do about like 15 to 20 minutes at a medium speed. I've been trying to push myself a lot lately just to get to like a level 10 or a level 12, but it might differ depending on the type of machine you have at your gym. But whatever is challenging enough for you, try to do that for like 15 to 20 minutes. You'll definitely get a sweat after it. Now for Wednesdays, we got push day. This is where I will hit chest, shoulders, and triceps. To start that off, we're going to do dumbbell incline press. You're gonna position the bench about a 45-degree angle. This is not a 45-degree angle. You're gonna position the bench at about a 45-degree angle. And when we get into position, we're gonna have a small arch in our back. We're gonna start with our dumbbells up in front of us. And as we pull it down, we're not gonna completely flare out our elbows to the side. We're instead gonna tuck them in slightly. And then once the dumbbells almost reach our chest level, we're gonna push through our chest up to starting position. Next up, we're gonna do shoulder press, and same thing with our incline dumbbell press. We're gonna tuck in our elbows instead of completely flaring to the side. So we're gonna keep them slightly tucked in. Gonna start with the dumbbells resting onto our shoulders. Gonna push up through our shoulders, up above our head. Don't completely lock out your elbows, but once you're almost completely straight, you're gonna bring it back down to starting position. You're gonna grab 2 D handles and attach them to 2 cable machines. I'm making sure that the cable machine is a little bit above my head. So we're gonna step forward, push the handles in front of us, keep a slight bend in your elbows, bring it back, keeping that bend in your elbows, and then pushing forward, using your chest to squeeze your hands together. That's the best. That's like a really good explanation, no? No?
It is.
Okay, second last exercise of the day, we got some tricep push downs. You're gonna keep your elbows pinned to your sides. They're not gonna move the entire time. That's a common mistake a lot of people make, is they don't keep it stationary. You gotta pin them to the side, keep them still, and let your triceps do all the work as you push your hands down and the handles outward. And slow on the way up, as always. To end off the workout, we're gonna rep out as many push-ups as we can. Now at this point, my upper body is pretty much toast, and doing push-ups is very difficult. So I just like to see how far I can take it. If you're unable to do regular push-ups, you can just opt for modified push-ups with just your knees bent on the ground and going for a usual push-up with your upper body. Since I targeted my chest twice, my shoulders twice, I'm gonna do the tricep variation of this push-up just to make sure that I targeted everything evenly. Ow. To end off my push day, I'm going to do some sprints. I like doing this in a circuit where I do 15 seconds of a fast sprint, kind of pushing myself. I encourage you to push yourself as well, but do it very safely, because this can be dangerous if you take it a little bit too far. And then after a 15-second sprint, I do a 30-second fast walk. And then after that fast walk, I do a 30-second rest, and then repeat the circuit until I hit the 10-minute mark. Before taking you through the rest of the week, let's take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Transparent Labs, which is the only brand that I trust when it comes to the supplements that I take in and outside of the gym. While exercise is important in my lifestyle, what's even more important is my nutrition, which Transparent Labs plays a huge role in. TL focuses on bringing the most high quality ingredients without any of those artificial sweeteners or preservatives that you will often find in other popular brands. From my own personal experience, when I've seen other supplement ingredients, I usually don't recognize half of the stuff that's on there. Transparent Labs makes this so much easier by only using simple, high quality, and essential ingredients. And they even take it a step further that if you don't recognize an ingredient on the list, all you have to do is go on their website, look at the ingredient breakdown, and they give you a full detail behind that ingredient, what purpose it serves, and how it benefits you in your performance. Again, big thank you to Transparent Labs for sponsoring this video. If you guys are interested in trying any of their supplements, feel free to use code Deanna at checkout. This will give you 10% off any of your orders and will also help support me and help me bring more videos like this to you. Now back to the video. After 3 days of consecutive training, Thursdays are typically reserved for my rest day. This is where I'll focus more on mobility training and dynamic movements to help muscle recovery from the previous strain of the other days and prepare me for the rest of the week's movement. I feel like my energy is usually the highest by Friday, so this is the perfect day for my quads and calves, which is again another intense, brutal lower body workout. We're gonna start off my quad and calves day with my favorite superset, which is a heel elevated Smith squat. I've gotten crap before for calling it a goblet squat because it's not like this, it's like this. These names are getting out of hand, that's all I'm saying. We're gonna start off with a weighted set followed by a body weight set. I'm gonna squeeze my shoulder blades together and rest the bar on my muscles so it's not on my actual neck bone, which will create that pain. And as we lower down, it's okay if your knees go over your toes. That's probably naturally gonna happen because of the heel elevation. Try not to butt wink. Now, a lot of people ask me what a butt wink is. It's the moment where your hamstrings can't stretch anymore, so your glutes compensate by pulling forward and curving in. So the goal is to not give into that butt wink. You're gonna push up along a diagonal through your heels up to starting position. So after we do about 10 to 12 reps, we're gonna drop the weight and then go right into body weight, heel elevated squats. I promise you the quads are gonna be smooshed after. You see that?
Yeah.
Where it concaves. Now I just look like I'm twerking.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Next up, we're gonna do a unilateral movement. I love doing reverse lunges just because I can feel them most in my quads. I'm gonna start off with one foot planted on the ground, the other just hovering. As I step back, I'm gonna lean forward slightly. All the weight is gonna be focused on the heels. As I push up, I'm pushing through my heels, push all with the front leg, up to starting position. Next up, we got the lying leg press. To situate yourself onto the leg press, you're gonna have your feet flat on the platform, have them about shoulder width apart, just like a regular squat. And the key with this, like a lot of our other lower body exercises, is all your weight is gonna be focused on the heel of your foot. Now, a lot of people complain of pain in their lower back when they do this exercise. Oftentimes, the reason for that is when you lower down, a lot of people tend to lift up their glutes, kind of creating that butt wink once again. You're just adding unnecessary weight to the bottom of your spine. So instead, what we want to do is you're going to lower down as far as you can, keeping your back and your glutes pressed to the seat. And if you can only lower down up to this point, that's completely fine. You want to avoid the butt wink at all costs because that will just create unnecessary pain and it's not going to be enjoyable at all. We're going to push through our heels all the way back up, focusing our mind-muscle connection on our quads the entire way down and the entire way up. Second last exercise, we're gonna do quad extensions. Now, I sound like a broken record at this point, but I swear this is one of the most important tips that I will give. We gotta be slow on the way up. I like a brief pause at the top and then slow on the way down. No matter how much it hurts, try to slow it down. To end off my leg day, I love finishing off with calves. Calves. We're gonna hit some calves. Now, many different gyms will have different calf raise machines, but you can do whatever your gym has. Your toes are gonna be facing forward, and the only part of your foot that is touching the surface is the front half of your foot. And it's like you're standing on your tippy toes. So we're gonna push up, we're gonna lower down very slowly, feel that stretch in your calves, and then push up. You guys know I had to incorporate a cardio and ab day to my split, so that is what we do on Saturdays. I usually do a Stairmaster circuit for the cardio portion of this workout, but I'll switch it up every now and then depending on what I'm feeling like. You know the never let them know your next move meme? That's me when it comes to cardio and abs because I'll show up and decide in the spot what type of cardio I want to do, whether it be sprints, a bike circuit, or jogging. I'll fit in around 15 to 20 minutes of that before getting into my ab circuit. I'm gonna do 10 to 15 minutes of Stairmaster. Now I make this a circuit for my ab days. So I usually do around a 10 to 12 level and I'll have my hands on the bars for 2 minutes. And then after the 2 minutes is up, I'll take them off and do free hand for 1 minute, then back to 2 minutes on the handrails. And I'll repeat this for the full 10 to 15 minutes. You can really choose whether or not you want cardio before or after the ab workout. I just prefer the cardio to be before because I'm more likely to fit it in instead of just skipping out and being like, yeah, I'm not gonna do some cardio for this day. So I'd rather just get it done first and foremost and then get the ab circuit done. Now, how I like to do my ab workouts is in a superset circuit. For the first superset, we're gonna do supported kickouts, kicking your legs out and tucking them back in. We're gonna pair that off with some V-ups, kind of like a hollow hold position. You're gonna reach towards your toes and back down. Contract up and down. Now for our second superset, we're gonna do some dumbbell press sit-ups. So you're gonna start flat on the ground and you're gonna crunch up into a regular sit-up and press up at the top. So it's kind of a combination of a shoulder press and a sit-up. And the key with this is you wanna slow down and contract your core the entire way down. We're gonna pair that off with some burpees. I know you hate me, but it's gotta get done. We start with a regular push-up, jump our feet in, and squat, jump, back down. Now, if you can't do all of that, you can simply just go back, forward, and squat. All right, final ab exercise. We're gonna hang off of any bar. If you're swinging, keep yourself still. And then bring your knees towards your chest, and you're gonna use your core to control the movement. If you focus on contracting and engaging your core, it'll also help you stop the swinging. If you're finding that you're having trouble holding onto the bar and doing the movement, you can also opt for a tricep dip machine to hold yourself up and to actually do the crunches. To end off the week, I'm usually with family or preparing for the week ahead, so I try to get most of my movement casually throughout the day, whether that's going for a walk, getting out of the house, or doing some light yoga. Sunday is more of an active rest day. Michael has his stick. There's something about men and just sticks. Why you gotta have a stick when walking?
I was actually about to say, keep your eye out for a longer stick.